All right. In the Netflix world, there was a TV show I watched kind of a long time ago, but I just forgot to review it. The Stranger. So let's go and run that intro, and I'll show you, show you, whatever you want to say, because technically I'm telling you and showing you with the video of what The Stranger is about. So let's just get reviewing The Stranger. So The Stranger, what is it about? Well, it's interesting. There's a family, a British family, just going around, la la la, soccer practice, have a nice car, has a nice family, has a nice house, everything's going smoothly, but a girl comes in the picture saying, your wife lied to you. And he's like, what are you talking about? Your wife never had a baby. There was never going to be a third child. She faked the pregnancy. And the father's like, wait a minute, you're joking. And she's like, nah. Here's your credit card statement. Look for this on this exact date, and you'll figure out I'm not lying. Well, sure shit not. She ain't lying. The wife lied. And the husband's like, what's going on? Why'd you lie? And she's like, it's a bigger story. I can't tell you. She disappears. So that's one part of the story. Another part of the story is there's a dead llama. Or is it a llama? What are the Apaches? Apaches? Yeah, Apaches. Yeah, a dead Apache on the ground. Head cut off. Decapitated Apache. What's happening there? And then also a naked guy in the forest. What's going on there? And then a bonfire party, which led to the Apache and the naked guy. So what happened there? And then also now you have a cop who's killing people at a bakery, and the daughter with the wife. Is she doing something with that daughter? Why is the daughter always sick? So many secrets in this town. Who is right? And then you also have a retired cop who's actually helping the guy whose wife went missing, who faked the pregnancy, but they knocked down his house, and something's in his attic. Who's that in the attic? And then because of that, the guy who was the soccer guy and husband's wife disappeared is actually a lawyer helping that guy with something in his attic, but when they're trying to knock down his house, the person who's trying to do it is that guy's dad, and who knows him, and a triangle. But then the stranger also might have a connection to that big guy on top who wants to knock down that guy's house and have the product development happen. There's so many twists and turns. And then also the stranger also might know that person who has a friend who is connected to another guy and who's giving more secrets to everyone else. What's happening? Oh my gosh. Was there a lot of twists and turns? It sounds like it's very confusing, but it really isn't, guys. It's 8 episodes. They basically give you everything you need to know about what's happening. Basically, these two people are trying to, blackmail people by telling them secrets, to giving them money, and basically like, oh, what you're doing is wrong. But then when they're giving the person secrets, they're like, well, actually, you giving me that secret actually ruined my life tenfold. So why would you do that? And that was actually one of the stories of basically how this girl met someone else, and that person put a porno out there or kind of a sex tape online to basically show that this guy's a bad person. They're like, why are you still want to marry this guy? Well, she's like, well, he kind of did the right thing, but he lied to you. I don't care. Why are you intruding my life? But okay, so yeah, you do have like different stories like that, but the problem with this story is they try to put too much into 8 episodes, and this is the problem with Netflix. Was it 8 or 10 episodes? I don't remember. But anyway, this is the problem with Netflix. They feel like they have to do everything in 10 episodes and just stop it. This is where I kind of missed the 24 episodes of like Designated Survivor before it went to Netflix, CSI, and stuff like that, where it actually fleshed out in multiple stuff. Here they just want to throw so much shit at the wall, and you just like want to connect with all of them. Which with this one, it's kind of weird with what's happening because they put so many little things in this thing, which it does connect. Like the Apache, he got drugged. Why did he get drugged? Because of something that someone posted online. The problem is he didn't post online. Someone else did. And that one other person is sick because... So there's a lot of twists and turns, and I understand it. I really do. All 6 episodes going to it, it was a binger. I don't like binging, and I'll say that every time I review this, but this one was like, it ended pretty strongly. It really did. After 6 episodes, I'm like, ooh, what's next? What's next? But 7 and 8, the conclusion was so flat. You're like, what? That's the reasoning? Really? We're doing all this stuff, even though there's a lot of different subplots in this story. the actual conclusion of this subplot really, the conclusion of the main storyline has nothing to do with all these little subplots they decided to put in there. I understand why they're doing it, for each character to have a motivation of what is happening to that person and why the dots are connecting to the end. But some of the subplots were just too over the top, too weird, that didn't connect, that just kind of stopped. Like the whole the whole naked guy in the forest, it just stopped. You're like, why was that even in the story in the first place? Like, made no sense. Or there's the cupcake one, where someone gets murdered in the store, it just stops. And you're like, couldn't that have been done differently? Or why she got murdered and why the person who did it murdered the person? They really don't explain. It just stops. So, yeah, and then with that, and the whole reason why this wife went missing, you really don't know why. You don't know why. You don't know why she faked the pregnancy. And that might get into little spoilers now, but that's the frustrating part. You're just like, can we explain a little bit more? Can we make this a 16 episode thing so we could flesh out of why that guy, why we really want to focus on the naked guy, why we want to focus on this fake pregnancy, why we want to focus on who's the child of what, why we want to focus on the Apache, why we want to focus on this cop killing these people and his daughter, of why the mom wants to do the stuff to the daughter. Like, they don't focus on that stuff. It's in the background, and they expect you to be like, oh, that's just background information. Not with me. I want to know why that background information is happening. Yes, but then I could kind of forgive for not giving us that background information, but the problem is the main storyline just stops. And his decision, the main guy's decision of doing it, frustrates and flounders me of why. It's like, the guy he's about to do it, this thing to, makes very logical sense of, if you do what you're about to do, you're going to get screwed. Are you really willing to do that? And then he does it, but then someone comes in the thing and saves him, and I'm staring at the ground because I'm trying to just like think of positives now. This was such a good show. It really was. After episode 6, I was like, I'm intrigued. What's happening? But then 7 and 8, basically, literally, they forget about every other character, every other side story, and they just focus on the main story. And the conclusion of the main story was so weak, so frustratingly poor, it degraded the whole rest of the show. Like, I was so excited to see what was going to happen. And then it happens, you're just like, you're deflated. You're literally like, someone, like, there's a balloon, and someone just went pop, 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 and popped all your balloons at your birthday party. You're like, oh, that's the end of my party? Okay. So anyway, The Stranger. Yeah, you could tell that it started strong, but then it just 2.5 out of 5 with Futons. Look at that, 50%. Just the critics' news scores gave The Stranger. So season 1, The Stranger, 83% with the critics. No audience score yet, but here's critic consensus. If not quite as addicting as the source material, The Stranger has a strong cast and enough tension to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Yeah, until after, I want to know what a mediocre TV, so it's mediocre, they say, plus weird mysteries, minus restaurants, times extra hours. Oh, that's during the quarantine, guys. Sorry. Here we go. This is a good one. Starts great, but ultimately fails under the spell of character redundant. I'm awful with words, and I don't speak English well, and when not necessary. That was in a Spanish review. So yeah, The Stranger, like I said, it goes in so strong, but then it's like, it deflates. So do you get the 50 or 83 cheese out of the Futon? Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing is Butontopia. You Butonians, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Have you seen A Stranger? Are you a stranger? I'm a stranger.